How's it going, everyone? Eclipse here. Thank you so much for stopping by. And in today's video, we are taking out the beautiful i29. I recently just got this out of 2 boxes. It's a very rare plane that I've always had my eye on ever since the event. As you can see here, there's a Kai 43 off of our wingtip here, and we are just going to keep an eye on him because we do not want him to get up to our altitude. This thing is actually really good. The i29, its guns are amazing. The handling is absolutely amazing. The speed you can keep is insane, and it's only 2.7. Just keep that in mind, 2.7. But as you can see there, we did a pass on the Kai 43. He was able to outroll from our guns, but we're just simply going to run away because we can. That's what we can do, because we can keep up our speed. We are an absolute racehorse, and there's nothing that he can do about it. We pull him up into a little bit of a climb just because, well, we can, and again, there's nothing he can do about it. He realizes that he messes up, but he's still trying to keep up with us. If you realize that you're going to mess up, then that's probably a good sign you should, well, run away. That's what he kind of tries to do, but it's too late. I'm already on his 6, and, well, there's nothing that he can do. And once he's gun hit, well, there's nothing you can do. See, we get a critical, absolutely shredded. Goodbye, Kai 43. Thank you for playing. Now, how do you actually use this thing? Well, the way you use this is boom and zoom. Simply, that's all you got to do in this thing. As you can see here, doing a little bit of a jump cut, and I noticed that there's a Mustang that needs my help. I'm sitting over here speeding as fast as I can to help out this Mustang to relieve the pressure off of him, because if he goes, then that F4 is going to come at me, and there's not really much I can do against that thing. I want him out as quickly as I absolutely can. So we're sitting over here tracking him down non-stop, trying to help out the Mustang. He dives down and actually comes at us. I tried to take a couple of pot shots at him, but I miss as I am locking up. This thing does compress a little bit, but we do manage to get the critical. We only hit his fuselage. And this is when I start to do the distraction part. As you can see here, the F4 is absolutely gonna, well, outmaneuver me. That's just a given, because we are twin engine and we are kind of big. It's kind of comes with the territory. But I just wanted to relieve the pressure off of this Mustang. As I notice that the Mustang's coming back, I just dive away because I can, and this dude is not happy and starts spraying 50 cals my direction to try to hit me. He does manage to hit me, but it's not enough to, well, send me back to the hangar. It just kind of dinks me, and, well, off he goes. 3, 2, 1, goodbye, Corsair. Thank you, Mustang, for helping me out. You are a god amongst men. Now, I noticed that there's 2 people left. There's a P40, which just landed, and a G4M1. I was debating on whether or not to go back to the base, but I decided to, well, wander around because I don't know what this P40 is doing, and I realized that he's probably going to camp the airfield, so I might as well too. And I noticed that this 109, well, he just absolutely gets eviscerated by AA. Little pro tip: never fly to the enemy airfield, because you are just going to get absolutely smacked by AA. Doesn't matter what BR you're at, you're going to get smacked by AA no matter what. So we're sitting over here just waiting for this P40 to repair and rearm and stuff like that to take off, so then we can absolutely wreck him. So he takes off, and I notice this. I'm tracking him. I'm trying to wait for him to get as far away from the airfield as I feel comfortable diving down onto him. And, well, we reached that point. So I'm sitting over here tracking him. I'm about to dive down onto him. I cut my engine because I don't want him to hear me. The P40 is actually a really good aircraft if used properly. This guy I don't know what he was doing. I don't know if he was just paying attention or just gave up. But you're going to see here, he just does not react to our presence at all. Even when we start shooting at him, he just does not react. He just sits there and takes it. So, well, goodbye P40. Thank you for playing, I guess. Now we start to track down the last player, which is a G4M1, a very good Japanese bomber, because, well, you're Japanese, so you can just pretty much outturn anything in the first initial turn. This person, he asked if they could bomb the base, and, you know, I let them, because I am a nice guy, so I let them bomb the base. But then they do something very weird. I'm just checking the stat card. Level 45, not too bad. But you're gonna notice something, that he does something very very weird. Sorry about that. And, you know, I was getting sniped by AA over there. I was making sure it wasn't airfield AA, and we're just gonna continue to chase it down. Another little jump cut there. G4 bombed his base, and he does something, again, a little bit odd. I don't know if he was landing, or I don't know if he's crashed, but as soon as I got a closer look, all I know was he hits the ground. I don't know if he landed again or if he crash landed, but we're just going to take advantage of this opportunity to get him out of the game, to wrap this game up. Take a couple of shots at him. 7 set his engine on fire. He manages to, well, knock out one of my engines, but it's not too bad. And, well, GG, 3 kills. Thank you for playing G4. Here we are into the next match. I see a duck trying to climb up to me, and well, we are just going to dive down onto him. Now, he actually surprised me because he starts climbing for me, and I kind of just, well, do a split S away from his guns. If he was a better shot, he could have actually nuked me out the sky. He tries to follow me, but then decides to pull off and try to run away. And if you've ever flown the duck, well, the duck can't run away. It can't do much of anything, poor thing. And yeah, we start chasing him down. He actually tries to go after the other I-29, but we gank him before he does that. Pull down, well, arigato gozaimasu, thank you for playing. We search for another target. There's a DB7, but the I-29 managed to gank him, and well, we start climbing. Now I'm in a little situation here. I don't know what to do. Everyone's higher than me and they have a lot more energy than me. So I just kind of don't know what to do. I'm semi panicking a little bit, but not too much to lose my cool. So I decided to turn in just a little bit to pick off any sort of targets. I noticed that there's a Kai 44 heading my way, and well, he's just diving, and so I'm like, he's probably running away from the fight. I'm gonna follow after him, but then I decide against it, as you'll see here. I do initiate the dive, but then I kind of just changed my mind last second and just pull away, which means I bled a lot of altitude for no reason. I start eyeballing the Kai 45 up high, taking one more glance around, make sure I'm clear, and then we notice that the Kai 45 is heading my way, and so I sort of anticipate it and pull away from him, but then I noticed that he's actually not focused on me, and so again I just bled a lot of altitude for no reason. But we're gaining that when we lose altitude, we're actually gaining speed. And then I noticed something. There's a 190 that was tracking me for a little bit, and I didn't realize it until now. This is the only player, well, that and another player in the next game, that gave me a bit of a challenge. I dive away, use this thing's speed to get away from him, and then I realized that, well, I'm not going to pull away from a 190. There's just no point. So I throttled down completely, used the compression to my advantage to simply just roll away from his guns. Man can't aim, but he can surely dodge. As you'll see here, we roll over him, almost black out, and well, now we're just sitting on his 6, and there's nothing that he can do about it. He's kind of panicking because he doesn't know what to do. After this point, I will pop the flaps to turn my turn circle in a little bit tighter, and we're just going to chase him down. Checking my 6, making sure I'm clear. His buddy was going to help him, but then he decided to change his mind. And for some reason, you'll see here, this dude's actually able to, well, outroll me, outdo everything better than me because, well, he's a 190 at the end of the day. Those things can outroll you and pretty much do whatever they want to you because, well, they can. We take a few shots, got a critical, just hit the wingtip, nothing too serious. Still sitting on the 6, take a couple more pot shots, get a hit with the 7, sparks with the cannons, they absolutely do nothing. Now we're just trying to shoot him just to get him out because he's doing a good job of dodging. Hold the trigger again, get another hit, sparks with the 20s again. I want to get this dude out as quickly as possible because I don't want to get ganked by a enemy. He tries to pull up and over, I pull up and over his nose, he pulls right out in front of my nose again, but I just cannot get the nose on. I cannot get guns on. He tries to roll under me, but lucky for me, I had my engines cut. I roll over, take another shot, spark, can't get the hit on him, and then he does something fairly funny. Gets too low to the ground, hits the water, crashes. GG 190. Thanks for the free maneuver kill. Thank you for playing. It's kind of sad and kind of funny at the same time. The 190 over there, yeah, he just get ganked by the friendlies. Here we are, last match of the game, and I noticed that there's a Reed 2001 on my 6. Better playing than I am, obviously, just because he's Italian. So he starts coming at me, and I'm like, you know what, we're gonna go head on with him. We go head on with him. He turns on to me. I don't fire because he's really twitchy for unknown reason. I don't know if it was just because the server was kind of whack, but every single aircraft I've gone against this match is kind of twitchy. We pull up and over him, trying to get him to stall out, and this is where I make a mistake. He had more energy than me, and I'm bleeding a lot more energy than I realized that I was doing. So I try to circle stall him, and well, he just completely destroys my tail, killing my maneuverability, but I still have my speed. The rest of his round sparked, and if he would have got guns a lot longer, he would have cut off my tail. So we come back in on him just to get guns on him. And well, as you can see here, I just don't have that maneuverability anymore. He's just able to basically roll around, do whatever he wants, and I just cannot do nothing about it. I can't get guns on him just because my tail is just absolutely destroyed. So I dive away, the only sensible thing to do, and the reason why I dive away is just because I thought this Yak 2 over here was going to deal with him, but no, the Re 2001, instead of coming after me, decides to, you know what, I'm going to go after the Yak 2 for an unknown reason. So I take this advantage, sorry I hit my mic, I take this time to turn back in and re-engage the RE 2001, because at this point he's not really paying attention. Then I noticed that there's a friendly MiG going after him at the same time, so change of plans. We're gonna let the Re 2000 engage the MiG. Sorry, I just had a little brain fart. Just making sure that there's no one around me. Junkers 88 absolutely gets clapped, and then I noticed that there's a Kai 43 up in space. That is the guy that gave me the most trouble, as you'll see here. Actually, he frustrated me just as much as I frustrated him. You'll see that later. RE 2000 gets engaged by the Yak 2, gets set on fire. I'm just burning towards the RE because I want that kill. I'm sorry, I just want the kill still because I'm a greedy bastard. So we're going after him, making sure to keep my eyes on that Kai 43. He is up in space engaging that MiG 3. I dive down on him. There's nothing much that RE 2000 can do. He's pretty damaged, so there's not much he can do but commit. And so we just kind of point, click, boom, RE 2000 destroyed. Thank you for playing. Now, in this part that's coming up, you'll see that I make a lot of mistakes here because I thought at the time that they were really good plays, and in honesty they're not. So I go in RTB to get this tail fixed because there's absolutely no way that I'm going to be able to handle that Kai 43 with a damaged tail. So here we are, rearmed, repaired, and refuel. I'm going to go help out this MiG 3 if I can. I'm speeding towards him as fast as I can, but unfortunately this MiG 3 dies before I can actually reach him. I'm sorry I couldn't make it there in time, dude. My apologies. So at this point, we are just burning towards this Kai 43 because I want to avenge that MiG that I could not help. And so I noticed that he starts climbing. So I use all that speed that I used to get to him to start climbing. And we start playing the mini of how high we can climb game. Very annoying game to play. Do not play that game. So I just say, screw it. I'm going to use some speed to catch him, and we are starting to catch him, but he's heading on me. I decide not to fire because that would be a waste of ammo, and instead I pull up and over. I'm trying to stall him out because I just want to bleed him of energy. As you can see here, he's sitting on my 6, and well, I noticed that again I am bleeding too much energy than I realized that I was, and so I do the panic stall circle to stall him out, and luckily it works. Just for an extra measure, I do end up popping landing flaps here to give myself a little bit more lift, and then I realize that I'm losing, and so I just dive away. I don't want to get engaged by this dude. I noticed that he's not firing. It's been a couple of minutes since he's been to the airfield, so maybe I thought he was just low on fuel, tried to scare me away so he can get back to his airfield, and he just does not want to waste the ammo. So I burn away just as quickly as possible. I'm trying to wait for reinforcements. I am trying to wait for that hurricane that's sitting on the airfield to come back and help me. So as you can see here, the Kai 43 and I are just kind of at a mutual stalemate. He can't catch me, I can't catch him, or I can't do anything to him. He can't do anything to me, I can't do anything to him. And so we're just kind of sitting over here trying to figure out what to do. And at this point, I'm getting absolutely frustrated. I don't like when stuff gets like this because I simply just want to end it. I don't like tiptoeing around the fact. And so I get agitated. So I'm like, you know what? I'm going to drag him closer to this hurricane. I want this hurricane to finish him off. And I noticed that he pulls off for a brief moment. So I use all the speed that I gathered to get altitude. I'm burning my engines up, trying to get as much altitude as I possibly can because I want to be above this Kai 43. As you can see here, I noticed that he's coming back at me, so I level out just a little bit to give myself a little bit more speed and altitude at the same time. As you can see, he's not going to catch me at all, and this is kind of how it goes for a long time. He can't catch me, I can't touch him. Hurricane is finally slightly starting to take off. I kind of start turning in because I'm starting to anticipate that I'm going to have to engage this dude whether I want to or not. Still trying to hold out just a little bit longer because I want this Hurricane to take off and help me. He starts coming my way. He can't really catch me, so he's going to swap. This Kai 43 decides to swap targets to the Hurricane. So again, we're just climbing. I have to cool down the engines because I don't want to overdo it. If I overdo the engines, then there's nothing I can do. He will catch me. I throttle back to 69% because again, I don't want to burn out my engines. Then I start slowly but surely turning inwards because I noticed that the Hurricane has finally taken off. Checking the scoreboard to make sure that that Kai 43 is the last person, and indeed he is. And so now I decide to cut back in. Now that I have reinforcements, maybe, just maybe, it will give me the distraction I need to, well, finish him off. So I start burning over to the Kai 43 because I noticed that he was trying to RTB. I do not want to give him the privilege of his airfield because he would just sit there and camp the airfield. I don't like people that camp airfields. Sorry, it's just the truth. Then I noticed that the Kai 43, well, he's going to cut back in here in a brief second because he notices that I am catching up to him. Not much he can do about that. He's a Japanese aircraft. The only thing they can do is turn, and that's about it. Kai 43 comes in, and he comes after me again because he really does not like me, so I pull him up into a little dive. He sees what I'm doing and immediately bends back down to engage this Hurricane. This Hurricane that's about to engage him, I wish you had more accuracy than you actually did, but I don't know if you're a new player or not. It is what it is. I start going down after this Kai 43 because I want to kill him. He's frustrated me because he sat up in space all game, basically doing absolutely nothing. He comes on my 6 and starts trying to take pot shots at me. I realize this, so I immediately start diving away. He hits my wing, damages it pretty good, and then he's just trying to take pot shots at me. But luckily for me, he can't aim, and so I just simply just wiggle out the way. Slight movements, he can't do anything. Hurricane is still slugging along, and so I decide to bring the Kai 43 over to the Hurricane. Because if I just keep doing this, then I will die, and there will be nothing I can do about it. So I do a risky maneuver. I start slowing down to try to turn in. I turn in because the Kai 43 kind of does this weird spastic maneuver, manages to, well, not get guns on me. I dive away as quickly as I can. He keeps up with me, and he's taking shots at me, pulls off instantly to engage this Hurricane. I say, now this is my chance to, well, engage him. Hurricane's just spraying, not hitting anything, poor guy. So I take this chance to, well, kill him. And because my wing is damaged, I cannot get guns on. I almost get guns on, but I wasn't leading hard enough, and I could not pull up hard enough, so he just kind of rolls out of the way. I immediately dive away and notice that the Hurricane was taken down somehow. I'm sorry, dude, I couldn't save you, my bad. I immediately start dumping the nose to try to get away from this dude because I do not want this dude near me. He hits me, takes a chunk of my elevator out, and smokes my engine, hitting the water. Not too bad. At this point, I am getting a lot more frustrated, and so is this dude. This makes the second time he's got shots on me, so obviously my pride is getting hurt by the minute. He pulls off, and I decide, you know what, no, screw you, you're not going back to base. I am not having this fiasco happen again. So I pull in, and obviously he sees this because immediately soon after he pulls back in. And so whether or not, if we both crash, this dude is going down. I fire, he fires, he pulls off, I pull back in, I fire again, and then I just kind of dip my wing down, and well, bonk, game over. I killed him. GG, David. If you are watching this, I am sorry that probably frustrated you with that ending, but it was quite funny. But that's the end of the match, guys. I hope you enjoyed today's video. If you did, please make sure to leave a like and subscribe if you are new. Until next time, this has been your host, Eclipse, and I'll catch you on the next one. Take care.